money ain't the same. My heart frozen. Funny how it changed. No emotion. Tried to put that gun away. Kept blowing. Sunning through the pain for the bottom. Yeah. We gon' crash out like the fucking stock market. It's a shark tank. Grab his cue in a market. Fuck up that few trap tags, but never miss a target. When you hit his head and leave him actually retarded. I can't say that. Opposition claim that. Difference in between us like the motherfucking pagan. Walking boats ASAP. Hawking dope base that. 21 is payback and nothing gonna change that. Still, Puppy, pills, Mickey, meals. Did that shit for real. Time on, kill, nothing, still. We gotta get away so make it out, yeah. Put that on the chain, there's a reason I'm dependent on them. Spin them like ballet, tapping braids, diamonds dancing on them. Keep your head up, not your pants though, we sagging on them. Pick your mans up, there's a reason why we crashing on them. Keep crashing, the ox stay yapping. The K keep clapping, yeah, we mainstream dropping. On the Audi, not blocking the rings like satin. Think we took too much and seeing goes. Oh, this money ain't the same. My heart frozen. Funny how it changed, no emotion. Tried to put that gun away. Kept blowing. Sunning through the pain for the bottom, yeah.
Jet set the shit, met the shit. I'ma rep the shit. Big one smoking on this bitch. Hot as Texas is sticked up. Chop and make him lit like the exorcist. AIM aiming at his head, the rant messages. They know I'm that bitch, got that dog in me. Yeah, I'ma spin the block and do it properly. Yeah, I can't even, don't get out with me. Cause you don't stand a chance in this bitch. This ain't Monopoly. Go, you're go, you're go. We took it slow right there. Go, you're go, you're go. Let's take this nominee. Go, you're go. Switch popping even though we on the top. Don't forget we from the bottom. Crashing, the ox stay yapping. The K keep clapping, yeah, we mainstream dropping. On the Audi, not blocking the rings like satin. Think we took too much and seeing goes.
Oh, this money ain't the same. My heart frozen.
Funny how it changed, no emotion.
Tried to put that gun away. Kept blowing. Sunning through the pain for the bottom, yeah. Do you wanna die? Cause I'ma take your soul back, baby, on the reaper. Keep it to the side. I got Karen acting breeze, but she touching on my wiener. I'm a really nice guy. I'ma say your hair first, like it's really nice to meet her. They call it crab pie, cause he came at the bottom with a stick, it went deeper. All this money that we made. I'm smoking kelp to the face. I skip the fence like I'm next. Stick long as a clarinet, so these hoes wanna play. Deep web browsing, pills by the thousand. Lean, sipping, squeal up on Jolly Range Mountain. The real bitch slam of the credit card scam. Oh, they call me Big Bud the way I'm handling my hammer. Do you wanna die? Cause I'ma take your soul back, baby, on the reaper. Keep it to the side. I got Karen acting breeze, but she touching on my wiener. I'm a really nice guy. I'ma say your hair first, like it's really nice to meet her. They call it crab pie, cause he came at the bottom with a stick, it went deeper.
Did it like the Edison and popped it like a light bulb.
All right, that's enough SpongeBob. I think. It goes hard though. Oh, what am I doing? I don't do anything for 2 weeks, and I completely forget about my obnoxious setup that I made. There we go. Hello, welcome. We didn't have one yesterday, so that's been pushed back to next Friday. I have social obligations. As you know, I'm not a professional streamer. I don't make money off this. I don't have concurrent views over 2 people on average. So, you know, something happens. It gets pushed to the side. But we're here today. So I did talk about this on a couple streams ago. We're going to be playing my Gacha Slop, which is great. It's going to be a good time. Or it's going to be terrible. I don't know. I haven't quite decided yet, but we'll see how it goes. So it was originally, I guess, let me do the quick recap, I guess, is I have 4 games that I pretty much play, I would say, on a daily basis, aside from, like, me forgetting to, which has happened a lot this last couple weeks, just because I'm working, man. I'm preoccupied with bullshit this year. So those games are Azure Lane, Arc Knights, Nikkei, and Girls Frontline 2 is the more recent one that I've dabbled somewhat frequently in. So we'll be playing through those. Rules, I guess, to how we're going to be doing things, if I can make it up, is during this stream, I'm going to be manually playing as much as possible. So the advantage of a lot of these games is you can sort of like automate a lot of the stuff. So if you're only here to do the dailies, usually you can get through all of that within an hour, sometimes even less, depending on what game you're playing. I would say out of the 4 of them, the only one that's the most time intensive, and it's also the only one I'm not going. So 3 of the games I have not played today. We're going in raw. You'll be able to see the alert for my daily notification and all that. The only one that I've already played is Azure Lane, and I've minimized what I did in it because if you're committed to the whole PvP aspect of it, which unfortunately I am right now, even though it ends tomorrow, you have to log in essentially 3 times a day. So at the at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., depending on when the new day starts, you get 5 attempts at playing against, doing the PvP, and then it maxes out at 10, but you can get a total of 15 attempts. So at some point you have to log in, either in the AM or early afternoon, and do 5 of them. So that's what happened. I went in, I did 5. That's it. Nothing else has been touched. I'll show you my list of dailies and stuff like that, whatever. I have a short list here on this screen, so I'm not gonna be able to share it because it's too much work and I'm lazy. But I've come up with a really retarded system to determine the order of games you're going to be playing, and it involves 2 quarters. So there's 4 games. There was going to be 3, but I was able to uninstall a bunch of shit and get Arc Knight working again on my PC, so that's phenomenal. Because that's one I feel like is more optimal on the PC anyway, which is a good thing. But excuse me. So how it's going to work is we get 2 quarters. First coin heads, second coin tails. That's going to be Azure Lane. We're doing an alphabetical-ish order. Heads is Arc Knights. Tails heads is Nikkei. And tails is going to be Girls Frontline 2. So let's roll. Or let's flip, I guess. Oh, I lost it. I didn't even make an honest attempt to catch. That's too far away. I know, I am rich. It's an American quarter too, so it's like worth like 40 cents. All right, we got a heads, and we got a heads. So that was what, Nikkei, I think it was. That was the third one. Yeah. Tails. Yeah, okay, I see that here now. Don't quote me on it, because that's too much effort. I'll boot it up on the other screen here. So yeah, not much has been going on with the stream otherwise. It's just been like, yeah, nothing. We're just gonna be playing Gacha Games on Saturday night, which is phenomenal. But there's in, we're gonna lock in, even though there's no reason to lock in, because this is honestly the most like in terms of difficulty. You're not here, like, it depends on how much you want to commit, I guess, to a gacha game, right? But we're not doing this for difficulty purposes, that's for sure. So I'm just here to goon, if I'm being honest with you. Most of these are pretty goonery. I was having a discussion with somebody else the other night about Arc Knights, and it's not, Arc Knights specifically is a little bit more serious of a game. It's got like a very well written plot. The music's really good. It takes itself somewhat seriously. But if you want it, there's still the option of TNA. And you'll see that when I go in, because I have like one of the swimsuit skins on my desktop at the moment. my main menu. And it's not like that horny. What I'm just saying is that like the option is there because it's a gacha game. You can't escape it if you wanted to. You know what I mean? Same thing. Like I don't play Fate Grand Order, but it's one of those things where it was a game that started off taking itself somewhat seriously because it's like a storied franchise, Fate. But at the same time, that storied franchise was an eroge. It was a porn game. It ultimately. So it was inevitable. It was inevitable that it was going to get horny. But written in the stars, some would say. But, you know, it is what it is. And that's not a negative thing, necessarily. Like, obviously, like, games get the bad optics of being goonery or whatever. Like, one thing right now I feel like that's a colossal cope is Zenless Zone Zero. Now, I haven't played that game in a long time. But that's sort of the complaint right now, is that compared to something like other games, like compared to Genshin Impact or Honkai Star Rail, like other games that that are in the Hoyoverse, so to speak, it's the sex appeal is like ramped up in Zenless Zone Zero, and I admittedly I like it better because I feel like the characters are a lot more interesting. They aren't just like copy paste like pseudo Chinese mythology character. Like I feel like that's what a lot of Genshin Impact is, and in some cases, Honkai Star Rail falls into the same category too. I haven't played Honkai. Haven't played Genshin in a long time either, even though it's installed on my Xbox. And I'm like, I'll play it on a controller, bro. But we'll see. Anyways, Nikkei's booting up. As you can see when I switch to the game screen, we're in the middle of an Evangelion event. And the volume is loud. For me, but maybe not for you guys. Let me know if the audio is fucked. Again, always. It's perpetually scuffed for me, but this is the second Evangelion event they've had. But for crossovers, they've done like some pretty no-brainer things. Like I feel like Evangelion is one that kind of like we're hung up here on the connection, so just give it a stat. I'm just listening to the fucking old intro. This is apparently like the first time. Oh, we have to do it. 4 megabyte download. There we go. We did it. All right, huge. That's why it froze. Anyways, we're in the last of 3 weeks for the Evangelion events. This is the second one they've done. They did one last year, and they've also done crossover events with Chainsaw Man, which was kind of weird but still cool. Nier Automata, which obviously makes sense, and every game under the fucking sun has done a crossover now with Nier. Second to fucking Guilty Gear, I'd say. Alright, so this is our main menu here. As you can see, I'm going through my prompts because this is the first time I played it today. Turns over at 10. So, our daily list is this little thing over here in the corner. So, you gotta do a lot of collecting items for the most part as part of your daily. Dispatch is one of those things for collecting. Output, defense, rewards, wipeout. Those are all like easy shit things. Like you just have to click one button and it's done. Same with the recruit. For most of these games as well too, with the exception of Arknights, because I'm porting right now. We're gonna do at least 1 10 roll in each game. Maybe not Girls Frontline as well too, but we'll see. We'll see how many vouchers I have when we go play it. But this one we have where was it here on here? There is social points. So social points are like every time you log in, like for the first time of the day, you can get points from your friends and you can use that to roll. Now compared to other rolls in the gacha, it doesn't have a pity system, so you're sort of like, it's free currency, it's an alternative currency, and you can't really, you get what you get with it. Now, you get a lot of it, especially if you have a full friend inbox and those people actually log in every day and send the points. And I've gotten good stuff from it for the most part. I've gotten like, I'm a true robo-fucker. So one thing I will show you right here, right now, just to brag. So I have every character in the game. GFL2, which only has 23 right now. I think the next one's coming next week. Yeah, usually if you're missing one, there's like a grayed out spot near the bottom. There's no grayed out spot. I'm fully locked in. And we got all the crossover characters too. We got the second Ray, You got Makima power, stuff like that, right? And mana. So all the gacha systems run on the same fucking like rarity index here too. You got your Rickers down here, your regular rare ones. True whales are able to dump enough resources into making these characters completely indestructible. I have not tried it. So best girl, it's a tie, I would say, is Drake, which is this one right here, whom I have all the skins for. And this is like a special background you can get for dumping a lot of resources in. Some of these characters have this little favorite item thing. And it basically like respecs them entirely for the most part. So there's like certain characters that are unplayable and are now like completely over the top. Like Helm was one of them, which is this one right here. There's a story behind this. This is the year of Helm right now as well too. So she's appeared in a bunch of main story stuff, and she's been in 2 back-to-back events. She was in the last event as a cameo, and she's been in this one. But she's actually useful. Now this I don't have fully upgraded. You gotta have this like special currency thing. I'll show you where to get it afterwards as well too. But yeah, you can make her useful, which is, I don't like using snipers for the most part. I have a loadout. I don't think it's set up on here, but it's called like the shotgun harem, because most of my favorite characters end up being shotgun users. So Drake is one. Polly is another one that Maxwell. That's our resident rapist character. Polly's another one, is one of my favorites. You'll see them in some of my shit posts. If you look, if you recognize the characters now, you'll be able to see them. There's a couple main girls in this game. Modernia is one too, and then our cover character is Rappy. This is the base model with there's a swimsuit skin for it, and then a lot of characters have ults. Usually like their story specific one. One I can show you right here is this character D, and then she has like a the killer wife alternate, which is this one here, and which is infinitely better as well too. Both like from a character perspective and like the way her story works, and from like complete usefulness. And then Rappy also has an alternate. I don't think I've dumped a lot of energy into it, but yeah. So this is where she is in the story. I'm not gonna lore dump because there's a lot of lore, but that's like explained in the story that justifies the alternate. And then some characters also have swimsuit alts as well too. Every summer they do like a swimsuit themed event, and those are like super limited. Like you have to roll during that event to get any of them. Like they don't go into the regular gacha. Where's the Anise one? Hold on. Oh, there it is. So these are the other 2 characters that round out sort of the main squad. You have Rappy, Anise, Neon. So there's the Summer Anise, which again is a little bit better. She's got a higher rarity. She's a better character overall. And then there's like the regular one, which I think I have. You can see the level disparity. I'll explain that too when we get to that point. But you have like a once you hit a certain level, you can put characters into what they call a synchro device, and then you don't have to individually level characters up anymore. You basically dump resources into the synchro device, and it levels up. And then your only thing you're really upgrading individually is the collection item, gear. Like this is sort of like the highest tier gear you can get, and it has these like special effects and shit, and then you can level that up to level 5, I believe. I haven't really done much beyond that. And then you can dump resources into their skills. I haven't done much with Jackal, clearly, because she's only still 6, but she's also like a PvP centric character, and in this one I don't play a lot of PvP. So let's get our shekels. Let's harvest all of our resources. So this is the friend points. So this is what we're going to be rolling with. This is the outpost, which fills up 100% every 24 hours. 12 hours ago, technically 12 hours ago, it was still Friday. So I did clear out the shit and did some stuff at work this morning. So we'll get the wipe out for free, and then we'll claim it. So on here, these are the 3 sort of main currencies here. There's a credits, data sticks, I think they call them. Yeah, data set, and core dust. Core dust is the one you sort of have to hoard a shit ton of, because this is what you need to use to start leveling up characters after a certain point in the synchro machine. Credits you use generally to buy shit. I have like ridiculous amounts of both. And data set is, I I think another level up material too. I have like ridiculous amounts of it that I usually just end up converting it into core rest. This is XP. This is a boost module that you use for upgrading characters. This is recycling room currency. I'll explain that too. And then these are different tiers of equipment that you get. They're kind of like 2 tiers per color, as you can kind of see here. So this is like basic tier 8 rare gear. And then they have this one here that's tier 8 as well too, but in the top corner it has like a manufacturer. So like each unit's specified as like attacker, defender, support, and they have a weapon that's sort of equivalent to it. So there's snipers, assault rifle, shotguns, SMGs, rockets. And some characters have swords, but they fit under like rocket launcher or assault rifle, depending on what it is. And you'll see that too. This is tied specifically to a manufacturer. And then tier 9 is like the second rarest one. And then again, I don't have one on the screen, but there's also like manufacturer specific ones as well too. And then if you max up, it becomes that like ultra one that we saw earlier on Jackal, and then that's like permanently locked to that character, and you can roll bonuses on it and shit like that. It's kind of neat. But there's a lot of, compared to some games I played, like there is a lot of currency and item management and stuff like that. But like, I played this basically since launch, and I haven't really whaled. The only thing I've really bought are skins and some of the passes, which you'll see over here as well too. So again, we're in the Evangelion event right now, so there's like a Rei and Asuka pass and stuff like that. These are for the regular roll. These you can collect, and if you collect 50 of them, you can you have a higher odds of getting an SSR, a gold tier character. And then if you complete it and you pay for it, you can get the Rei skin as well too. So they have usually some big events, they have one tied into it, and then they have like the season pass, they call it, which is this one. Which comes with a, forget her name right now, a skin for her. Forget her name. Fuck, it's killing me. She's a dog girl, obviously. She's gonna, this skin shows up in the next event because there's been data leaks and stuff like that. But if you just do it normally, you get like the SR molds, and if you pay for it, you get the skin. So I bought passes before as well too. And then they used to sell skins individually. Now they only do it as like a rerun thing. So you're not paying $25 for a pass, but some of these skins too, like this helm one here on screen, it's not. They have this costume gacha, they call it, which is this one, and they have ones for, there's an Asuka one as well too. You got to spend money to get it, and it rolls, and you're not guaranteed the skin. After 3 skins, after 3 rolls, you have a chance of getting the skin, and then obviously your chances are still pretty low. So it's like, hold on, this is in USD since you're playing on PC, but on average, you got to roll 4, so it's $7.99 a roll USD, so it's about $10 a roll. So if you are not lucky, it ends up being about $80 for the skin, but you also get a lot of other shit with it, so it's like the value maxes out, I suppose. That's a cope, but for the most part, yeah, it's not too crazy. Anyway, so what are we doing here? So we did some dailies. They made the dailies a little bit easier at the beginning of the year because you can see some of them are worth 20 now. But you used to have to do a lot of shit. So what we'll do first is we did our real easy ones, so we'll do our slightly less easy ones, which are remembering to go to the cash shop and buying. And then the regular shop and buying stuff. Change the screens here. This is the shop screen. Again, you can buy like a lot of shit. All of this, most of this is free, but you can buy it with, like, the gems are paid currency, so it's not worth it to get it. There's easier ways to get molds and other shit. This is a currency you get for playing what they call union raids. So unions are your clan that you can join, and you can all kind of participate in like a big high-level boss fights and stuff like that. These characters here that you can buy duplicates for, those are part of what was called the it was like a prison thing, so you had to do certain quests every day, and it took like 3 months to get them. and you can unlock certain characters. So and these are there's another way you can upgrade things called there's like cubes of some sort, and each of them have stat boosts, and you can assign cubes to different characters. And this is the you would use to upgrade the cubes. It's like trifling. These are all for upgrading the recycling machine, which I'll show you in a second as well too. Also, it's not worth spending this currency on it because you can use it to buy molds as well too. Molds get you significant. You can get dupes for high-level characters, and that's like a substantial upgrade compared to what you get from the recycling machine. This is for each character's also got an elemental assignment as well too. So you use this to upgrade those their special abilities and their like their burst move, what they call it. As well too. And this is for stickers. We'll buy that as well too. This we can use to recycle old equipment and get like the high level shit with it, which is kind of useful to have, but you gotta buy 10 of them. So every 10 days, if you log in every day, you can do it. This is tickets, they call them. You get black tickets for rolling on the regular gacha, and you get gold tickets for rolling on event gachas. So the event right now is the Evangelion one. And then you can buy duplicates of like regular characters too if you're trying to like limit break them and shit like that. Gold tickets are pretty useful to have. I think I have about 100 of them right now, so I don't have enough to buy a new character, but I am a horde Chad. Right now we got at least 20 rolls for the gacha, but I'm not really too worried about limit breaking any of the crossover characters. Even though some of them are pretty good. I don't know about this one, but like the Nier Automata ones are really good. But yeah, and then this is a you get this for doing sort of like the co-op mode thing. And this is pretty useful as well too, because at the beginning of every week, you can get like 500 gems, so you can get like a roll and a half out of it, which is pretty cool. So it's worth kind of like making sure you go to the store every day. There's a daily tied into it. It's also like one of the tasks in the mission pass as well too, which once you finish all your daily shit on the mission pass, it's done. We have a solo raid over here, which we'll do as well too today. The solo raid is you fight like usually like a themed boss, and usually it's one kind of either related to the story update or the special event. So it's the boss of the Evangelion event, which is like a giant pyramid. Nothing too crazy. And the outpost. So this is like the outpost, which is sort of like generic gacha mobile game base building, stuff like that. There's a lot of like little story events tied to things as well too. So when you unlock certain characters, they have like little mini story events that happen, and you can kind of watch them and stuff like that. They haven't really done much like since launch to kind of expand things. Like during like anniversary events and stuff like that, they'll have balloons and stuff like that here. Really the only reason to come to the outpost every day is to do this dispatch here. So this is where you can get like bonus shit. This is the currency for upgrading that favorite item, so we need that. You get gems out of it as well too, and a lot of upgrade materials and shit. And it's a daily task, because we're doing it every day. This is the recycling machine, which I was talking about. So you can use certain currency to upgrade characters, but like, and it goes on either a manufacturer or a class basis. Well, and you get like HP and defense upgrades and attack upgrades and stuff like that. But like that's like a 3,000 attack upgrade after literally years of dumping resources into this. So it's like, again, it's like, it helps, but it's not enough to make a difference. And then this is the recycling room, or sorry, synchro device, and we can upgrade this. It's a weekly task to upgrade this. So you can like slot in characters. I have some empty slots, and then you can turn them. Let's throw nobody I really need right now. But you can throw in and add and remove characters as you want. Usually you get like free slots during big events, but you can spend 500 to upgrade it as well too. I have a shit ton of slots. I have 85 slots open. So it's good to use. You can also like interact with like the chibis as well too. They're all running around. And they have their skins. Like if they have a special skin and stuff like that, it applies to the chibis as well too. And then there's like little mini events, and then lastly you have the outpost, which is another one of the things where you got to do dailies. All the old events you can go into the outpost and play as well too, which is pretty cool. I think you can play. This is main story, like this cutscenes, archive. This is what I was looking for. I think you can play some of the crossover ones, but you're not going to get like the crossover characters unless there's a rerun or a part 2. You can change the soundtrack in the main menu and stuff like that. The soundtrack of this game bangs. I think it's definitely one of the best parts of it. A lot of cool music. The guy who is like their lead sound guy is this guy called Cosmograph, who's this Korean producer. And he did a lot of stuff for like rhythm games for a long time. So it's like his style is very all over the place, which is pretty cool. And then here you have what's called advice. And then this, you can level up characters and stuff like that too. You gotta do this for certain upgrades and stuff like that. And this is sort of just like you interview characters, and then you gradually get like little story episodes as well too. A lot of them have implied sexual encounters, which are pretty cool, I guess, if you're into that. But a lot of them also kind of like elaborate on like canonicity is questionable from these events, but they're pretty cool for the most part. You know, like if there's certain characters you like, it's neat to get like a little bit of like a story boost on them and stuff like that. And then once you hit 20, or once you've like redone all the, once you've hit every advice question, you get like a little sticker for them as well too, which is like in here. So I gotta do more for Quincy, so you actually have to go in and do it. Just because I got a smile on face, people think they can take advantage of me. And then you have like a yes or no answer, and then there's a better answer than another one. I'm gonna say the person who's smiling is the real winner. Yeah, so that was the positive answer. So it means that we get more, you get 120 instead of 100 that goes toward this like bond level, which is kind of handy to have. Let's see code as well too, because she's another one that I'm trying to mix out. And a lot of the questions are sort of related to the character personality and stuff like that as well too. And their like role in the game and stuff like that. So if you're like, you play through their story events and stuff like that, like some of the questions kind of become easy. We'll go branch of pine needles, because you can make actual tea out of pine needles. So she's afraid of bugs in her story, so that was why she freaked out the caterpillar. That wasn't the right answer, surprisingly. Only got 100 of it. But we don't need to redo the advice, so we're just going to do the quick advice for this because it's not real gameplay. So I can skip this part without breaking my own rule. Fuck it. There's a lot of characters, obviously. So was not all the strangers. And we'll do share. Fuck it. You get 10 a day when you there's a building that does matter because you can upgrade. You get like more PvP attempts. You get more attempts to do this advise. You start off with 5, I think, and it goes up. You have somewhere you would go on vacation. We'll say I think I have time for vacation. Oh, that's not the right answer, goddammit. But we still got the level up, so fun. And then milk is another one we need to do because he has a favorite item, and we need to max her out to get favorite item. We gotta come with this guy. Alright, easy. I'm just gonna skip through them so you guys don't get to read, but... And we're done. Alright. That's another daily. That was a weekly, if there was one. But we had done... It takes about like a day and a half to do weekly stuff. It's pretty fucking easy to get it all done. It's more gems. So you want to do the dailies, you want to do the weeklies, just for the event currency, just for like rolls and shit too. So the rest of it we actually have to do. So basically the gameplay is a cover shoot. It's like a kind of like a cover shooter is the best way I can describe it. These are the PvP things. This is automated. I'm doing kind of terrible right now, but whatever. So you get to build a squad, and then it like auto plays, and it's the chibis that actually perform the action. What I'll do is you can skip the animation, but I'll play the animation once just for shits and gigs. So we'll turn on quick battle here, just so you can see how it works. There's a lot of sweats and a lot of whales. So there's guys that have like pretty insane fucking team builds. Even though it's fairly meaningless. Like you don't get this mode specifically, you don't I'll run it through in a second. There's two styles of the arena. There's like a squad based one where it's like a best of 3. So you gotta like set up 3 teams. That one at the end of the season, so every 2 weeks, depending on where you rank, you get like a bunch of rolls. So usually you get like 5 rolls worth, which is pretty fucking handy to have. And then we're just gonna do the quick battle for the other 5 ones. But this one you only get currency to, like, you get like arena currency, which I have like a fucking metric shit ton of, because again I've been playing this game forever. But like this is arguably my best squad for PvP, and I'm only at like 500,000. So there's guys that are like this guy's at 84. He's in a Tunny's fucking squad. I think this guy, if I remember playing him, he's like 150k less than me. There's one guy that I keep fucking like being like, oh, that's a surefire winner, bro, and he fucks my shit up every time because he's got like maybe this guy, like I don't know, he's got like an optimal build layout. Maybe not. I don't know which one it is. We'll see. We'll see if I lose one that's like a really obvious win. Refreshing. You have unlimited refreshes compared to Azure Lane's PvP, which is fucking sweet. Might be this guy. We'll try it. No, never mind. So we've won all of them. I'm gonna get dropped back down to the low 30s again too. So that's done. That's a daily task. That one's like pretty straightforward, fairly automated. So these other 2 that you got to do are the simulation room, which is sort of like a series of battles that kind of gradually get more difficult. There's also one where you can add on like difficulty modifiers and you get more resources for doing it. And then interception is a boss battle, and you're not gonna win because like even me, I'm still like horribly underleveled, but depending on how much damage and how many health bars you're able to take off the boss, you get like a lot of rewards to doing it. There's like 2 tiers for it. There's intercept, which is sort of the old one, and then it has like a randomly rotating boss every day, and then the anomaly interception, which is like element specific, and you get like different, like this one you get mostly armor, this one you get mostly gloves, this one you get like random shit. The mirror container is the one I can usually get the furthest at. Even if you don't clear a health bar on this, you get more resources than you would 100%ing a regular interception, so it's worth doing this just for the resources. So we have my mostly electric squad set up here as well too. So I will switch back to manual just so you can see it. And there's a bit of a process here because what happens is you're shooting the boss, and then like when he hits a certain phase, like targets pop up that you have to hit. This is the layout here. And then characters have bursts, which is it'll play this animation once, and that like they have special attacks, or it'll have like some characters are healers, some aren't, and then other ones add buffs to characters. So I usually can get this to about 4.5, I would say, if I auto it, but let's see if we can do better than Daniel on it. So this is one of the sword characters I was talking about, so she counts as an AR according to the game rules. And this is like a clears the screen attack, too. It's fucking handy to have. Does a shit ton of damage to the boss. So we're at 3. And then now he's gonna do his little attack thing. So we gotta hit the targets, and then we can shoot him again. Now if I don't hit the targets or I fuck it up, especially this part here, he does like a automatic like nukes the screen, you lose, bye bye kind of like that, right? So We wanted to avoid that, so we're good. So we're still in it. We can hit that 4th tier. And then he, at some point now, I think, yeah, he's got the shield up, which like nullifies a ton of the damage. I think 2 of the characters don't do any damage at all now, like the non-electric ones that have them lined up. Which is annoying as fuck, but we'll hit it anyway. I think like the idea is that you want to be like so you can it caps at level 400 for this thing, I'm pretty sure, which is kind of neat. And then you can sort of like upgrade your characters past that. And I think the idea is you gotta like nuke them in that first phase, and then like hopefully you can hit like the higher levels in this one. I think this caps out at 9 health bars. And then you get like a shit ton of rewards. And today, because it's the Evangelion event going on as well too, it's called like a burst day, which you may have saw in the main menu there. And you get more resources for doing this and the thing we're going to be doing after as well too, which is kind of cool. So you get double resources for everything. You can get rarer shit, you can get better upgrade materials and stuff like that too, which is handy to have. Because upgrading gear is good and does a lot to fucking making it easier to beat these fucking bosses and stuff like that too. And where I'm at in the story, so I'm at they added 2 more chapters, so I'm about 2 chapters behind the plot. Yes, that's the instant kill. We didn't get extra bonus stuff, but we got like a bunch of the bonus gear. And then it's still good to have even like the useless old shit, because you can use that as an upgrade material, and you can recycle it later on as well too, which is cool to have. We'll do the quick battle for those 2. So we got double modules, which are hard to get, but I've been farming the shit out of them, so I have a lot. And you need this to like re-roll. Now, I'm behind the plot, but it's hard to get away from spoilers. I spend a lot of time on the various gachas, 4chan, like not subreddits, but the generals they call them. So it's hard to like not get like leaked info and stuff like that. The plot has sort of taken a bit of a turn, I would say. And if you were to compare it to another game, if you are familiar at all with the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, the plot of this game now is basically Shin Megami Tensei 2. Not a bad thing. We'll skip as many of these battles as we can. I know I said I'm going to be playing it, but you have to manual the boss fight. So it'll happen. This is a character sort of in the main plot as well too. It's Aink, her name is, and then there's another character called Enik, which are like the AI. So the plot of the game is that alien robots have invaded the planet, and like the last of humanity is living in like an underground city called Eden. And what Nikkeis are they're robot women for gooning purposes, obviously. But they're the only thing that they basically, like, regular humans can't fight and defend themselves against the Raptors, these alien robots, but Nikkeis can. So like they're essentially like women that have either volunteered or been forced to become robots. Those blue ones are all considered to be like regular Nikkeis, so that's what most people end up as, but like something in the process of turning a human woman into a Nikkei, sometimes they have like the ability to kind of like become an idealized version of themselves, which is what it is. So that's why there's like certain characters that are like individuals amongst Nikkeis. That's not bad. Which is sort of like a weird plot gibberish that they haven't really explained too much, but they are explaining it, at least in the way the main story is going. And then you want these so you can sort of like chain them and get better abilities, because that way you can take on the boss. So by the time we get to the boss,
れくらいもう余裕じゃない？
we will still be under level technically. So yeah, like there's the recommended power level, which is the combination of all your power levels plus like all the bonuses. And then we're still below it. That doesn't matter, but it means we take like a 30% damage reduction for being under leveled. But because like individual characters are so powerful, so there's these are all considered to be what they call pilgrims. That's like their manufacturer. And the pilgrims are like the OP meta characters of the game. And that's so we can sort of like circumvent, like, yeah, like, Red Hood is the character in the corner there that's using her ability. Like, that thing does, like, ridiculous amounts of damage, so it's good for, like, just basically, like, nuking bosses. Or clearing out, like, enemy stages and stuff like that, so. Unless it's, like, really, like, absurdly low. And, we're just getting, like, murked by, like, regular enemies and stuff like that because their damage is so high. It doesn't matter. The power level is irrelevant. And for a little while in the story, I was doing like 200k below where I was supposed to be. So, if you got this, if you got the characters for it, it's arbitrary. And it's like I said, it's like the only characters that are I almost said paywall, but the only characters that are sort of like limited are the summer and Christmas character, or the like any special event. Most special event characters, not any, but most special event characters are the only ones that are limited. You can get pilgrims through regular rolls. You can get pilgrims through friend rolls. It's not hard to get all these characters. So let's just get my sticker here. There's a lot of like red dots and notifications that trigger my autism, so we gotta get them. So I think that counts for all the dailies now. Yep. So clear that. So we got to do the solo raid still, and we got to do the Evangelion events. But first, let's do a friendly 10 roll and see if we get anything good out of it. So purple, so we didn't get anything special. Yeah, these are all characters that have rolled a trillion billion times, but you get this, I don't know what they call these, body labels. So this is what you can use to buy, like, those molds and stuff like that. We saw that very briefly in the shop. And then we'll get more friend currency because someone else sent me shit. And then we'll do the Evangelion mission. So all these big events also have, playing around my Zims right now, like a little mini map and stuff like that as well too. So same as like the Outpost in a lot of ways, but you kind of explore. So we get this big boat. It changes depending on where you were in the story. I'm like well past it. We're week 3 into it, so that's irrelevant. But so it changes sometimes. Like the sea used to be red. There used to be like this big spooky Eva unit out here that was like having a seizure, having a little fucking spurg session. Somewhere on the map there's a shiny glowy thing that I need to pick up, and they add yeah, daily turnaround on this one's like very generous. So like I said, I have all the characters, all the limiteds and everything as well too, right? And like I've never had to pay for the game. So we're gonna do our little story events here. This is we're gonna just skip through as well too. But on the map somewhere, there's a little shiny glowing thing. There's only one this time because I got 40 out of 41. I have everyone, yeah. But you gotta get duplicates. That's the thing, right? If you want to max out characters and stuff like that, you gotta roll as many as possible. So you can roll once. To limit break a character, you gotta roll 3 more times, and to max that out, you can roll an additional 7 times. So I'll go back into the characters and show you what I'm talking about in a sec here. We're just gonna click around the map because this little icon will change when we're close. So we'll do all of our obligatory Evangelion event stuff. We'll automate number 11 because you get game currency, but you also get core dust. And like I said, core dust is that thing that you gotta hoard, which we want, so we gotta do that every day. Now, I'm not the biggest Evangelion fan, and like I said, like the game resets at 3 p.m. So that's when like the new day starts, because I guess it's on Korean time. So sometimes like I haven't been super engaged in this one, so I forgot to do daily stuff before, because like it'll be like 9 o'clock at night and I'll be like, nah, I don't want to play Nikkei right now. I'll do it after. And this is another thing. These are the challenge modes. You can auto this as well too, which I will do. And you get a bunch of currency and stuff like that for it. And then on, I think tomorrow, since there's only 3 days left, we'd be able to unlock stage 6, which is the most difficult one. But for the most part, they're pretty easy. It's a bit of a pushover for a boss. So we're gonna sail around and look for this fucking thing. It's probably in the water. Nope, it's not. Okay. We're gonna go up here. We'll find it. We'll find our secrets, and then a lot of these like, secrets that we're looking for. Usually shit like more soundtrack stuff, or sometimes it's gems that you can use to roll. Sometimes it's like the event currency. What the fuck is it? Usually they're kind of easy to see. I haven't really had to like search around too much. Historically, before it had like the little tracker option, you were like reliant on like somebody posting the map at some point, which is fucking. And they don't do it right away too, so it gets annoying. Up here? Oh, it is, okay. Oh, there it is, right there. I can't even see it. Alright, well, this one's well hidden apparently, so we'll get it. That's event currency, so that was a waste of clicks. Now the one cool thing about this event is a lot of events have mini games. This one's actually really well done. The near one had the hacking mini game from the actual game, which is kind of sweet. This one is like a very Toho-esque bullet hell called Red Sea Scout. So we'll play that until we die, just because you get gems from it as well too. This one's a little bit obvious. So the green dot on my character's back, that's my hit marker. Because when you get to the bosses, that's when it starts getting like the screen filling shit. I'm not a big bullet hell guy, but I'm a big like shmup person. That's like one of those genres like I'm a really big fan of. I'm more of a horizontal rather than vertical shmup guy. Like Zero Wing or Gradius or like Fantasyland and stuff like that. Like those are some like that style of game is my favorite. As Your Lane, to some extent, oh, we got hit there. Is a sort of like an RPG slash horizontal fucking shmup, which is kind of cool. And we'll see that if I roll it next or whenever I roll it. Now, a lot of the times the mini games are time consuming, so it's a little bit annoying to do, but this one's actually a lot of fun for the most part. And I can get pretty far. I think I'm second in my clan now for like, this is like the unlimited mode. So I have the second highest score, which is kind of awesome. So, and you get 10. Because I'm fully upgraded, I got because obviously we're late in the events. There's only a few days left of it. You can upgrade the health, you can upgrade the damage, you get different like attacks, and there's like flamethrower is like a sub weapon. You can switch that around as well too. But this, whatever this unit is with like the front spray, is pretty much the best one damage wise. And its ability is like a screen clear. So I have that like in the bottom corner here, the ultimate attack. So that's saved up for the next boss, but super useful to have. Go log in for a second. So we can clear that, because that's an annoying move, and I don't have to dodge anything, which is great. sort of out of range, which is annoying. We're still hitting them. And he's dead. Alright, sick. I think I got to like the 4th or 5th boss in the Illumined mode. That first boss, that giant pyramid looking thing, that's going to be our solo raid enemy for the day. So you'll see that too. But from a perspective of looking at a woman's ass in the actual combat system, so this has the obvious like the obvious reception has like the ass shaking game, and it is. But it's more than that. It's a lot of fun, and the story's cool, and the music's cool, and stuff like that. So, it's got something for everyone. It's got something for the gooners. It's got something for people that want like an actual decent game. Like I said, it's fairly I don't want to say it's uninspired, but it's you know, like I said, like you can see where like a lot of the influences in the plot lie and stuff like that. Like I said, like I was immediately able, someone who's played Shin Megami Tensei 2, I was like immediately able to be like, oh fuck, it's the plot of Shin Megami Tensei 2, which is a great game. It will never be localized because it requires you to kill God, like the Abrahamic God at the end of the game, is the final boss. Which your average, you know, Bible Belt American is not going to be particularly fond of that idea, so localizing it is still to this day sort of a, even in the secular world of 2025, you know, it's optically probably not a good thing to do. You might piss off a lot of people, but it's a good game. I used to like, I played like the first one sort of the same way as well too. And there are worse games you can borrow the plot of, and then because of the rampant success of Nikkei and how much money it prints every day, they're able to fund things like, because this is the same team that, not the same team, but this is the same company that made Stellar Blade, which, you know, is like incredibly successful game, and that's coming to PC soon as well too, and if the laptop can run it, you will see me playing that probably on stream at some point as well too. And the plot of that's very similar to Nikkei from my understanding, but it's more, instead of, you know, it's more, fuck, that was stupid, Nier Automata than it was Shin Megami Tensei, so that's my understanding of the plot. We didn't hit my score, but yeah, you can see here, 280,000, not bad, pretty happy with that. I'll take second place. Oh, I didn't get my, didn't clear out the missions here, hold on a second. That, get my shit. So we got gems, and we were, like I said, we're farming gems. Because I roll on every banner because I'm a moron, and I'm addicted to gambling apparently to some extent. I'm addicted to gambling on 2D women. We'll do our mission pass here as well too. Get that finished, and then we get a little a frame for our avatar, which I'll show you in a second as well too, just so you can see it. I think this one's finished too, the Mario one. Yeah, cool. So that's all done. We'll go back. And now we got one more task to complete, which is shoot the boss a bunch of times. And over here, this is my little sticker set up here. And then you have different frames you can unlock as well too, and you can change your avatar. This one I can have is shiny, but fucking Private's a shitty character. We don't like federal agents in this life, so she has a little prison mode because she's fully maxed out for me because I've rolled her a trillion billion times. And then we'll do this. So this is sort of like a these are like sort of like a hard boss run. It gradually gets more difficult as you go. You have up to 5 attempts to fully deplete this health bar. It's weak to winds. So what I like to do is I like to have my OP Pilgrim Squad go in, do as much damage as possible, and then I usually have like my strongest element-specific characters going afterwards. I don't think there's any Wind Pilgrims in this lineup, so the we're gonna be eating a lot of damage. So it's basically we're just going to try to knock off as much health as we possibly can. So what this boss is to the story is that it is like a rapture that's able to, they call it the gatekeeper, and what it does is it's able to access other realities and bring characters from other realities into this one. So that's sort of how they lore explain any of the crossover characters. And then at the end of every event, you get like a little recap from your boss, and then we're like, just pretend it didn't happen. So it doesn't affect continuity of the game. So is it canon? Who knows? So we're just gonna shoot as much as we can, and maybe kill the boss, maybe not. But like I said, there's gonna be a point where we're gonna just do fucking shit ton of damage, which is annoying. But it is what it is. We're gonna get it like well past halfway at this rate, which is pretty handy. So we just shoot. We use our pew-pews. And you can swap between individual characters if you want to. This is good if you're trying to like what's the word I'm looking for here? If you have like what I was doing earlier with that other boss, where it's like you have someone who is able to kind of do like the elemental damage and stuff like that. Obviously in this case, like I said, everyone here is of a different element. And we fucked that up already. Alright, we're done. But we're below half, that's all that matters. We'll go in, we'll clean up. And then, easy. Yeah, you can't hit these because all the characters are of the incorrect element. It means everybody gets fucking nuked again. We'll survive that too. So when there isn't raids or there isn't events, for the most part, like the daily stuff is like you go in, you click a bunch of buttons. Like I said, you can skip through most of those other things now, which are pretty handy. And like the fastest I've been able to do a daily, like dailies to this game, was like 7 minutes. 100% it. And that was like panic mode, right? But it was, you know, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, there's not a lot of stuff to do in Azulane, but if you're committed, like I said, if you're committed to the PvP, you do gotta log in 3 times a day. Out of the 3 that I play, or 4 that I play, I'd say probably Girls Frontline's the longest, and then Arcanites, if you're not like if you're paying attention to the story stuff, you're fucked because there's a lot of reading to do. If you're not skipping stories, then it's pretty quick. If you're like me, you're not a skip Chad. You're fucked, buddy. Some of those, like especially for like the China themed events, which I'll kind of go over in a second too. When we get to it, you're doing a lot of reading. So this is irrelevant. It's down to like 10 bars. We'll just burst everybody anyway. And we're done. Perfect. So that's Nikke. That's like a quick playthrough of daily stuff for that. The event for the Evangelion one ends on Thursday, I believe, which is pretty handy because then I can go back and just like not having to do that event. Those big events with the maps, they tend to be... They overstay their welcome to some extent. And that's because they last for like 3 weeks. And they take a while. And they, the 3rd week is very boring. Because there's no new story events. It's sort of just like... For someone like me who's already completed all the shit, it's just basically farming resources. Or you're playing catch up if you're not a daily chud like me. So that's that. That's Nikke. Pretty straightforward game, I would say. I enjoy it a lot. Maybe in the future I'll do like a stream where we dig into some of the story stuff and things like that. But we have 3 other games to play, and the show's got to move on a little bit. So I lost my other coin, but like I said, that was Nikkei, which was heads, tails out of the way. So we got 3 more to play. So let's fucking flip a coin. All right, we got a heads again. So this one has to be heads. It was tails again, so we're going to reflip it. We're going to redo it. Tails. Head. So tails head was the opposite. Which one was it? I fucking put my list down. That one was Dark Knights. Okay. So this one we almost didn't play because this one there's a dedicated Google Play app that runs a lot of games, and it was crashing. It was very buggy, so I had to uninstall everything and reinstall it before I started. But it loaded, and it loaded with the audio not being completely fucked. So I'm assuming it's working properly. We'll see when I get into the actual game portion of it. But Arc Knights, like I said, it's a bit more serious of a game. I gotta see if I can full screen it and then switch back here. Oopsies, I'm nuking the game here. I'm fucking it up. Yeah. There we go, full screen. Perfect. So then we can switch back to it. Boom, boom, boom. Audio sounds good. Okay, so that's a good sign. We'll keep my current voice settings. We'll talk about that, which is good. I think I'm locked in. No, we don't need notifications right now. Yep, we're good. Yeah. Trying to use government can take my information, whatever.
Ah, doctor.
Okay, so see, yeah, we haven't done anything. This is our daily login allotments. And like I said, we got the swimsuit, so yeah. This is going to be bothering anything else. Oh yeah, there's a Delicious in Dungeon crossover coming. All of the crossovers are canon, but technically, they did 2 of them with Rainbow Six. So that is a canon crossover, so the Rainbow Six operators in this game, if you're a Rainbow Six Siege chud, which I'm not, I'm terrible at that fucking game. Granted, I've only ever played with strangers, or Doc, for example, who's a Rainbow Six character. That's gonna give me the fucking first time. Doc or Ash, who has a Catgirl skin, which is kind of clean up. Those are all characters that are canonically in the game right now, and the only reason I know that is because 2 of these, so 2 out of the 4 of the games I play, so Nikkei and Azure Lane, across the entirety of global, China, Korean, North American, whatever, it's all paired. So everyone's playing the same event at the same time, bar censorship, whatever. Arc Knights is about 5 months behind China, and Girls Frontline is over a year. Now, it's so far behind, and the game did so unsuccessfully in China for some retarded reasons, which I'll explain. It's essentially redoing things. So it's like it's behind, but they're doing events in a different order, and they're introducing characters whenever they want. Like, there was a new skin in China that's also available in global already. Stuff like that. Like, we're playing the most optimized version of the game. We're playing the one that's also been highly successful. So, Angloids saved Girls Frontline. Meanwhile, everyone else is sort of just existing in it. So this is Arc Knights. We have a little rerun event going on right now, which we're not going to play because we were well past it. But for bragging purposes on this, we have these little medals. I have all the medals because I'm based, but one of them, this one here, Out of the Fire, has the option of what they call trimming. So you can get like a shiny trim around it, and it requires you to do an impossible task that I have yet to been able to do. I will make an attempt at it tomorrow, probably, when I have some free time. because we only have 1 day left on this, and I'm like, fuck it, let's do it, right? And then Monday is when the other event starts. So, gameplay-wise for Arc Knights, it's basically a tower defense game. You have all these operators. You can upgrade, you can play around with operators, stuff like that. Let's go into one of them that I have probably maxed out. It's still Hoshiguma, for example. So, this is a 6-star. 6 stars are obviously better characters. There are a lot of them that are very, very meta, and you can do a lot of retarded things in this game with those said characters. Makes things trivial. There are different classes of characters. They have these little job section over here. So you have Vanguard. Vanguards are primarily for like resource farming and stuff like that, but there are characters that are good at attacking and shit like that. Guards are sort of your standard like damage dealers and stuff like that. A lot of them are like, I want to say melee focused, but like Lapland over here, you can see at this attack range at the bottom, she can do range damage, which is handy to have. Defenders can block more characters, they can sponge damage and stuff like that. Some of them, like Ashlock here, is a what they call a fortress, so she also has a ranged attack, but it's more of like a like an artillery, so it's like for far distance and stuff like that. Snipers are your general range damage. This is Isabel, who's an ult. This is the most overpowered character in the fucking game. Makes everything trivial. And I'm playing through stages I had difficulty on in the story, and I'm like, why did I have that problem? Because I didn't. Wizardel wasn't released yet, and then now everything is trivial. So not using her is the fun way of playing the game, I guess. But we're gonna be using her for what we're doing. Casters are, again, predominantly ranged characters, but they have like different abilities, and they deal what they call arts damage. So certain enemies are, you know, weaker to arts damage than their physical damage. So you have your casters, healers. Self-explanatory. Some healers also are damage dealers, like Reed, this one. This was my predominantly overpowered meta character for a long time. Because she can essentially nuke the screen while healing units, which is pretty handy to have. Supporters are similar to casters, but they're more esoteric in how they do things. So you're kind of more reliant on abilities and stuff like that. A lot of them can slow enemies down, cause static effects and stuff like that. Virtuosa, who's another fairly meta character. This ability here can do what they refer as necrosis damage. So she can just, like, again, enemies will walk through her like AoE, and they take like ridiculous amounts of damage that skip arts and physical damage, blocks and stuff like that. Like Provisio is another example. So she's what they call a Decil Binder. So these are subclasses, and Decil Binders do slow on enemies and stuff like that too. So they're like a cheap deployment cost, and they're a good character. And then finally you have Specialists. So these are predominantly like low cost damage dealers. Like Gravel is like one of the first ones you get in the game, and she only costs like 6 deployment points. She has a shield, so she's good for like blocking lanes early or like attracting enemy damage and stuff like that. And she doesn't have she's a very short redeployment time, so it's cheap, always available units to have in case you need it. And then other like weird things like Dorothy's what they call a Trap Master, so she can lay mines. And then Rope is they have characters called Hook Masters and Pushers. Another pusher is Shaw. So these are characters that can push or pull characters across the map, and you can use them to manipulate things. And if you know the map and you're good at using characters, you can use shift characters to like cheese bosses and fun ways and stuff like that as well too. So there's lots of ways of doing things. So our dailies, pretty straightforward. These will reset, so they'll be like a clear stage 6 times once you finish this one. And then we get our Orendum, which is our spend currency in this game. Like I said, I'm saving for the Delicious and Dungeon crossover, so we're not going to be rolling on this one. But we'll do something similar, I'll show you in a sec. But for the most part, like this is playing a few games and doing your kind of like trivial daily tasks. This is like a straightforward thing to do. So first thing we gotta do is go to the store. This is where you buy your currency. You can buy packs, like your monthly passes and shit like that. You can buy outfits. Only two available are the Wind Chimes one and the Old Shot, which I bought. I'll be buying the Wind Chimes one shortly. This is your original, which are these, is the paid currency, but you do get it for finishing a stage or a challenge stage for the first time. Gets you free to run them. You can spend that in the store, or you can spend that towards the rolling currency, but we're not going to do that. Certificates, which you get for rolls or getting duplicates and stuff like that. We're saving up for Blemish Shine because that's a 6-star character I don't have. We'll get her. We're 8 short. We got 2 days, but it's a non-issue. Furniture is for your little Fallout Shelter-esque base, which I will show you in a sec. And then credits are something you get every day. I think we already claimed our credits for the day, but we got to spend them. So you get your little. There's a lot of currencies, a lot of resources you get. This is all predominantly for upgrading characters and upgrading abilities. Oh, we're at credits for that. Okay, we'll buy this one. This one here, the Battle Pass, you need to upgrade individual levels of the characters, and then things like Sugar, Orion, or Orion, and then there's like upgraded versions of these things as well too. Like if I go to my depot and go to basic items, you can see, growth materials. You can see there's like a fucking 1.5 million different things. Chips you need for upgrading characters as well too, and then there's like 3 tiers of chip. It's a lot of resource management. If you're doing the dailies, or playing through the story, playing through the events, you don't really need to worry about it too much. Like, I don't catch myself having to farm shit very often, which is nice. But there is a lot of currencies. So we got 2 missions done. Let's go to our base. So this is our little Fallout Shelter-esque thing. You can see the characters walking around and stuff like that. When they load in, yeah. So you can... This is the easiest way to farm dollars, which you need to upgrade shit. And that is my... that's the thing that hamstrings me the most, I'd say.
Didn't spot me pulling smoke rings back into my body through the gaps,
yeah.
Did you?
Alright, we're maxed out on that. So this is how you get a lot of those credits. If you collect all 7 of these different fucking reports. I have to dump some, so I'll gift some to randos in my little friends list here who need them. You can have that. You can have that. You can. Someone else can have a 7. Sure. The 7's the easiest one to get because we need space. Because hopefully there's a 4 somewhere. No, there is not. And then you can get them and receive them for other people and shit like that too. Now what we have to do is we gotta swap out our operators. Each character, when they hit certain levels and stuff like that as well too, they have an effect that they have an ability that affects the base in some way. Like this one makes you more likely to get the Carlin Trade one, which is one of those lists. And it's also the easiest way to get their like friendship status up to 100 as well too. I like just to pick randos for the most part. I don't really pay too much attention to it. But characters I know that are not at 100 are going to be Absinthe and Mountain, so we'll throw them in there. If you notice, for the most part, characters are kimono characters, so they're all like based on like an animal for the most part, with the exception of obviously the Rhodes Island operators, and there's some characters that are like demons and angels, which I'll touch on a little bit, and then there's like elves and dwarves for the most part, but then there's like fantasy shit like dragons. There's a unicorn character who's not playable in the game, but she's in the story, stuff like that. Like there's like obvious, they're all inspired by something for the most part. And if you caught some of the audio lines here, what's kind of cool about Arknights, and I'll dip into that shortly, is you can adjust, unlike other games, you can change the voice line language for individual characters, which for me is like the, I don't know, I think it's fucking phenomenal. Because for the most part, with the exception of some of them, and I will give Arknights credit that it has From last year onwards, it arguably has some of the best English. Like they got like Reed, like the character on my main menu. Her English voice actor is Melania, I think her name is, from Elden Ring. So they got like, instead of just like the typical fucking loser they pull off the street Crunchyroll tier stuff, none of it is in here. A lot of the English voice actors don't. They've been trying to focus more on characters that have like either authentic accents to the region they're supposed to represent. So there's like in-game versions of England and Germany and Japan and Italy and stuff like that, and Russia. So if they're like, now their characters have, sometimes it's a little forced, but their characters do have accents, which are pretty sweet. But for the most part, like most characters, like their English voice line sucks ass, and we just stick with the Japanese one or Chinese. Again, depending on the character as well too. But I'll show that in a sec here. We're gonna go to you. We'll throw Meteor in here.
It's hard to get used to such a small room.
Golden glow here. You get different, like, there's different stuff. Like, I guess I should explain the rooms a little bit quickly. These are kind of your bread and butter here. Trading posts get you cash. Factories you can produce items in. Right now I have, for the most part, them building gold, which is what gets traded in for cash. And then I have another 2 more running battle records. So these are the currency you would use to upgrade character levels. You can use this to get Originum shards. Originum shards get you rolling currency for rolling, and then this is where you would spend resources to upgrade chips. These dual chips, you need these to upgrade 5-star and 6-star characters to their Elite 2 status, so their final tier. So most characters, depending on their star level, so there's 1 to 4, 1 to 3, they only have Elite 1, or they don't have an Elite at all, and you don't need to spend dual chips. 4, you would spend regular chips to get to Elite 2. 5 and 6, you would spend the dual chips. So it's, again, it's like very very centric on, you know, like upgrading materials, and then the higher level you go, the more difficult it is to get certain materials and stuff like that. Like it's rarer items and shit. And then power plants are, you need those to like drones, which are this little purple thing up here. Only time you end up using that is if you are trying to like rush something through. So like if I, instead of waiting 3 hours for dual chips, I'll just use the drones to push them through. But that's something that doesn't happen very often. Hold on, I gotta do you. Fuck up, hold on. Trading post. Yeah, I did. Okay, I just swapped these 2 out. So the ultimate moneymaker are these 3 characters combined. So Degenbrecher, Jay, and Provisio. So part of the reason is that Degenbrecher causes your like your morale to drop slower. So I can usually do like a week worth of farming money from her. Jay, I forget what his ability does. It causes trades to default if it's less than 4. So it means that you get the money, but you don't have to spend the gold. And then Provisio, I think, forces the default. Yeah. So if a pure gold is default trade, you get more gold out of it. So it's like you're just prints cash, which is phenomenal, which is what we want. And that's where I get the most money out of. So, like I said, money is my the thing that kills me the most. So that's the one that we tend to focus on for the most part. Is only thing I really worry about
This
kind of
bed
optimizing.
is so soft, and the air conditioning is so perfect. But I have one tiny question. Do I have to
And then we'll throw people in dormitory because we want them to have high morale. And this is also your daily task or there's a weekly task, which is tied to how many people you toss in your dormitory as well. So I would say every 2 days, you're going to be swapping out everyone in your base, which isn't too time consuming as you can see, but aside from reading the prompts, this is probably the longest one as far as nonsensical tasks you have to do. Alright, so that's all done. Base is reset, everyone's at high morale. So let's do the recruits. So this is not rolling, technically. What this is you have another generic currency here. And you can use that to roll for other characters. You're mostly going to be getting 3 stars, or you can get 5 and 6 stars from it. There's a couple characters that are locked to this recruit system, but because of how rare they are, there's a kind of a way to circumvent that and get them easy. One of my favorite characters in the game is Indra, and she was tied to this as well too, and I'll show you her in a sec here because she's one of the ones that pertains to the good English voice acting in the game. So you can recruit, you get these tags, and then you set recruitment time. This one has a starter tag. You can sort of predict what you're going to be getting based on the tags that you're presented. So this is always pretty much guaranteed to be a 3-star if I roll for 9 hours. This one will probably end up being lava. And then some tags are better than others, obviously, right? Because they get your rare characters. This one's a fast redeploy. So for this, I'm guaranteed to get at least a 4-star. So it'll probably be like Ravel or Jay or another character like that. It's got DPS, so it's probably going to end up being a range character. This one's a starter too, but I can go with Shift, which is another one that gets me a 4-star character, but let's refresh it anyway. I don't like rolling on, I don't like rolling for starter characters if I don't have to. Oh, I fucked that up. Okay, whatever. So we'll get our... Yeah. So that's one thing you can sort of like use to roll characters and stuff like that. I don't know why he's giving you alerts for those two, but I guess because you just logged in for the first time. But anyways, like I was saying, you can go in and you can change individual voice lines for characters, which is pretty sweet. So like Reed, for example, you have your Chinese and Japanese, stuff like that. But because Martha McIntosh is a good voice actress and is an Elden Ring, I keep her English.
There's a lot more.
And it sounds exactly like her, which is Kino.
More than secretarial work. I won't be opposed to.
Yeah, and then you can go into other characters based on like their theme and event. What's another one I can show you that's a cool example? Gummy. So Gummy is supposed to be like a Russian character. So you can go in, and then there is a Russian option for her. And then you can play through. Which is pretty Kino. So, a lot of characters have that. So far, there is Russian, German, Italian, and then there's better English voice packs for certain characters and stuff like that too. So if I could go in here and I go to Penance, for example, we have Penance on the Italian voice lines. Yeah, and then her English voice actress has like a very forced Italian accent. So that's pretty Kino, I guess. So that's as far as like arbitrarily daily tasks. It's really only that to do, which is pretty handy. Now you do have to play the game at least once a day. You could do what most normal people do, which is go in, go to an event, and then as long as you used all of your own units, you can go auto deploy, do it 6 times, farm some shit, and then you're done for the day. But we're not going to be doing that. So what we're going to be doing is one of these retarded amount of game modes in this game. So this is replaying through major big events. This one is Kino, Saltaferra Navis. This has the best soundtrack, I think, in the game, which is all sort of like sea shanty theme stuff, which is pretty Kino. You can go into the events and it still has all the map and stuff like that. Aesthetically, this one's fucking sick as shit too. No, I don't want to fucking do the events. Oh no, we get... Ah! I'm not doing story. Okay. Oops. Go back. Okay. And then Lone Trail is the best event in the game. And the best way I can describe it is NASA Pump. So, this is a game that does sort of take place in a modern era, very similar to Earth. So there is like space-themed events and stuff like that. But this is the coolest one. Has another character I enjoyed, which is this bird snake lady over in the corner here, Huhuliak. And it is Kino, and it is so Kino that Chinese cosplayers reenacted the whole event, and and it's very painful to watch, but it's Kino. It's like a 3-hour-long movie on YouTube. I think I shared it on the Instagram before, but best event in the game. You have this thing called supply missions, so you can do this just to farm different chips and currencies and stuff like that. You have to sort of do this for chips. It's the only way to really get a reliable quantity of them. Annihilation is sort of like a... best way I can describe it is like a wave run, so you have to beat 400 enemies. And then they'll throw bosses in there and stuff like that as well too. You can autoplay this, and it's good because once you fully upgraded it, you can get 1800 Arundum, which is the spending currency. So it's a smart idea to do that like once a week. I usually do it on Sundays. And then we have these two modes here, which are Reclamation Algorithm, which is sort of like a base builder combined with like sort of like a 4X style map is the best way I can describe it. It's kind of a neat mode. I haven't really figured it out too much. There's a lot of YouTube content on how to play it properly, and it's just too long. Like, I don't want to watch a 40-minute video to learn how to play the game mode. But my issue with it is that it you get this like currency for it, this expansional rewards, and then there is a somewhere deep in here is a Hoshiguma swimsuit skin. And I have to play so much, like, you gotta clear out all of this, and then clear out all of this, and then clear out all of this, and then clear out all of this, and it's like, nah, dude, I'm not playing that shit. I'll figure it out eventually. I will eventually, like, there are guys that are good at it, and then what we're gonna be playing today is integrated strategies. And what integrated strategy is that it's basically a roguelike-ish mode, which is kind of cool. And every year they add sort of like a new version of it that gets upgrade, like it gets expansions every month, and you got like different characters and special modes you can play as and stuff like that. We've already done this Mudrock one, and then there was 5 of them. The first one never got a rerun, and that's because there isn't like characters tied to it. But all of them are like they have a cool story to go along with it. This Mizuki and Corellia Arbor one is really cool. The story for it is very it's like sort of like a what if scenario, so there is a canon ending to the plot, but then there's also like a lot of these apocalyptic endings and stuff like that that tie into it, which are pretty cool. This one's sort of like the Viking theme one, Expeditioner's Jocklemarker. Pretty cool. This was the only one I've like really 100%ed, as you can see by the expedition records here. So this is what you get for playing through it. You get XP that goes towards this, and then you get like different backgrounds. Each event, with the exception of the first one that isn't replayable, has a different character that you can unlock, and then you get skins for and shit like that when you play through it. So the one that we're on right now is this Sarkaz's Furnicide Fables. So Sarkaz, so I guess a little lore recap for the Arknights universe is the character your MC is the character called the Doctor. So he's like a human being from Earth, and in the lore we are like a spacefaring race that encountered this other alien race that basically wiped out human civilization, and we land on the planet this game takes place on, Terra, and there was already sort of like an indigenous species there, and because of like human interference they've split into 2 races. So there's the Sarkaz, which are like the devil type characters, and another one, I forget what they're called, but they're angels, because they had access to a human machine, which is sort of like God but not God. And then like the Sarkaz have access to something they call it the Black Crown, but it's a human device called the Civ Knight Eterna. You can kind of see it in the background there, and that's like a major plot point, because what that is like a device that like all of like human civilizational technology is saved onto this crown, and the Sarkaz they're all sort of like blood tied into this crown. So they essentially have like a racial blood curse that's related to this crown. And like they're hated by all the other races on the planet, and all the other races on the planet are various animal people that have were bioengineered by humans, and they're sort of doomed to repeat like human folly, and that's why everything sort of runs parallel with humanity. That's why there's like a version of England and a version of Italy that's run by a version of the mafia and stuff like that, right? So it's like this universe, and then like a big part of the game is Originum, which is this sort of like crystal that, without going into too much detail, your main character has a lot of ties to. But it's sort of a blessing and a curse in disguise, because it's directly responsible for a lot of the technological advancements in the universe, but it also gives people what they call Originum poisoning, which is rock cancer. So they're kind of doomed. It's a terminal illness, and then your organization, which is sort of like a militarized pharmaceutical company, is one of your aspects of it. Is you're sort of dedicated to trying to cure it. So the plot of this one is it's deep into the main story, but the idea is that these two characters here. I forget her name, but she's a type of Sarkaz that can read dreams. That's sort of her. There's like different ones. Like there's ones that are vampires. There's ones that are gargoyles and stuff like that. So they have a huge variety of sub-races that fall under this idea of what a Sarkaz is. And this guy is what they call a revenant. So he is essentially like a ghost. He is like a living memory of the Sarkaz race, and he's been instead of being tied into this crown, he's like an independent one, and he is he's basically been stuffed into like a robot suit. So he's a ghost piloting a little robot. They call him the Tin Man. And like he's sort of involved in Sarkaz affairs, but he's not. But he's like one of those guys that's been alive for tens of thousands of years. And he's one of those guys that's sort of like seen everything from behind the scenes. So the idea behind this Furnace-side Fables is it's a lot of what if. Like, we're not going to go too deep into the plot of it, but it's a lot of what if scenarios. So it's like, what if the Sarkaz didn't split off into two, like T-Kaz they call them, or the original ones, split off into two races, and then there's like boss battles that are like a boss that was earlier in the game, but he's got a halo now and stuff like that. So there's like a lot of little weird story things. But how this game works is this mode works is you go in. We're going to be playing it on the highest difficulty I am right now, which is number 4. So you have like less lives, less enemies are harder, stuff like that. Gotta take a drink. We'll do a run of this, assuming I don't get smashed. And you can build a squad around these sort of stats here. So resources in this game are like life and shield. That's pretty obvious. Command level is your level. You get XP at the end of every fight. This is hope. And hope is the currency you would use to recruit operators. And then you can buy like collectibles and different items and stuff like that with your with this currency over here. So it's pretty straightforward to manage. Ingots, they call them. So I've beaten the game with Support Squad and Tactical Assault Squad are the two. So we're going to do with First Class Squad. So this one's good because it means any 5-star operator I pick is already promoted. And because we got to the 3rd floor, at least the 3rd floor of my last run, you get kind of another bonus thing. Let's just get shields. And then you get to pick like your first setup here. So you get first move gives you Vanguard Sniper Specialist. This is the one you want to go with at all times. And part of the reason is there's another currency you have to manage sort of in this game, which is, I'll show you in a second when we get to it. But once you unlock the Tin Man, 1, he doesn't cost anything to do. 2, his second ability here, this big Larry one, he throws an item, and it both heals and deals damage. So we get him for free. This is his Elite 2 artwork, which is cool as shit. And then we still have 6 left over, so we're going to be spending that on Wizardel because, like I said, she's overpowered as fuck. And this is a game mode that doesn't fuck around. It's actually quite difficult. I literally, it wasn't until the Executioner's Jacques came out that I was able to sort of like play it properly. And that was maybe like 2 years of game. So, and then we can't afford anyone, so we'll take Scavenger because Scavenger's free. And that will be our Vanguard. So this will be our first lineup here. So this will be the first floor. And the way floors are set up, we don't need to read this, is you got to go through each individual thing and reach the end and then move to the next floor. And these are combat operations. These are actual battles. This is an emergency op, so this is like a harder battle. And encounters are different random events. So you can get items, you can get into special battles, and then you can get these things down here called thoughts. So thoughts are sort of like the third resource you have to manage. Some thoughts are plans, which you can use to upgrade certain tiles on this map, like the road trader you can upgrade, like the store. There's 2 other tiers. One is ones that you can use to upgrade, like in the next battle you get 15% HP bonus, or attack bonus, or enemies are weaker, various things. And then another one is, I think it's called lingering thoughts. And the lingering thoughts, at the end of the 2nd, 4th, and 5th floors, you can exchange thoughts. And you can exchange them for hope, shield, or collectibles. And then certain lingerers make it more likely to get collectibles if you trade them in or whatnot. Or if you hang on to them for 2 floors, then you're guaranteed to get a collectible or something like that. And then you have these load-bearing operators down here. So you have a limit. You have a mental toll, which you can upgrade after games if you do hit certain levels. If you have over mental, you can hit certain tiers of mental toll. So right now we're good, but if it's yellow, if I move to another, if it's yellow and I try to move to another tile, it takes away a life point. And if it's red, I can't do anything at all until I get rid of thoughts. But because he's like an event character and he's Elite 2 right now, I get a plus 15 from fucking Tin Man, so that's good. So that means that we're never going to hit that cap, and then it goes up when you get certain collectibles, and it goes up when you level goes up as well too. So out of the 2 of these, which one's the easier one? I don't remember. This one is. And then we'll pick our squad. And we obviously taking the Tin Man. Like I said, second ability is good. Wizardle's not upgraded yet, so I need to upgrade her to unlock this 3rd one. And this is the one that will kill everything that moves, because it is overpowered as fuck. And she has a ridiculous attack range. And it does splash damage and stuff like that. And it does so much physical damage that if it's a character that's immune to physical damage, doesn't matter. Circumvent it. And then we'll do the 2nd ability for Scavenger. So let's jump in, and then basically, like I said, this is the general gameplay of the game as a whole, which is essentially tower defense. So the goal is enemies come out of here or spawn on the map, and we want to stop them from getting here. And then this is your deployment cost. Individual characters have different deployment costs. So what we're going to do first is we're going to deploy Wizardel, and then that's all we're going to do until we can afford my boy Tin Man. And then, this is like a map hazard here, so that does damage. I could throw, if I wanted to, I could throw Scavenger here, and then she could force it by damaging it to react faster and stuff like that. And then we could throw Tin Man down here. And then, like I said, his ability here, he throws this, and this circle here does damage to enemies when they pass through it, or it heals everybody in the circle. And then his range is a lot higher now that he's Elite 2. So that's something that improves. And that's really all it is that a lot of these maps are pretty easy if you have the right characters for it. And then you gradually run into higher, more complicated maps as you go up floors, right? That's like pretty straightforward.
Patience, my friend.
And then this is like a special enemy here. So if he's He's probably not gonna die because he takes a lot of damage. He's also unblockable. Like he'll just kill whoever's in his way. So assuming that these two aren't able to nuke him, he'll go through the circle, but because he's sort of like a bonus, it doesn't hurt my life points, which is nice. We might be able to kill him here. I'm praying.
Patient, feel how your
Throw
soul
that.
is imprisoned.
Throw that.
Feel how your soul
And
is
no, we're not gonna get
imprisoned.
him.
It'll be a lesson you won't feel.
Maybe. Okay, we got it. Okay, and then we get bonus stuff at the end of the match. End of the fights, end of the battle, end of the encounter, however you want to frame it. Alright, so we leveled up. So we get more hope. And so these are ingots, which you want. These are, like I said, the thoughts. So this one, you get a rarity +2 when you carry it onto a new floor, and more likely to contain a collectible, more likely to contain a collectible. This is a gift, so operators get attack speed boost when they're deployed. And this is a recruitment voucher, so we can pick a guard operator. So like I said, because of our little bonus thing, 5 stars are already upgraded. So we're going to take Lapland's, because Lapland's second ability this here can do like retarded arts damage, and she's a guard operator that does ranged attacks. And ranged attacks are a good thing to have. So we'll add her to the squad. So this is an encounter. This is like a story-specific thing here as well too. This is an allegory to the plot of the game, which I'm not going to explain too much. But the black beast clamps its jaws down on the prey's throat until it stops struggling and goes limp. Suddenly it sees a flash of gold. A creature it has never seen before in the wastes. Under the sun, the strange creature's mane shines, its fangs and claws powerful. Furious, the black beast puts down the prey, locks eyes with the creature, and so we can share its prey with the creature and get this Doodle of Hope, which will give us less emergency ops. We get a certain special encounter on those encounter nodes if we have this item, and we get Hope Boost. Talons of Hatred. All allied units and enemies have +20 attack. Emergency ops will appear more often and triggers wondrous effects, or we can just leave. So let's take the Doodle of Hope because we want that hope bonus. And it says, 1,000 years later, the different races have become indistinguishable. Cooperation is how both sides can win. This is what everyone agrees on. And that sort of ties into what I was talking about, how they split into 2 different races. So, a young lich perks up when he hears you approaching. I finally found someone alive, he eagerly asks you. Can you read? Please tell me how this story ends. You flip to the last page. A Sarkaz hunter has finally caught up to his prey. A Sancta. This is how it ends. The Sancta are like the angels, is what I was talking about. So the Sancta kills the Sarkaz. We get 4 original ingots of it. Sarkaz buries the Sancta. And because we have the Doodle of Hope, we have this third option. When possessing a Doodle of Hope, we gain 4 original ingots and 2 hope, which is both of the currencies, so we'll take that. How can that be? The Lich cries out, surprised, and then falls silent, lost in thought. Could this be this answer his teacher wanted him to find? You notice the Lich's ashen white eyes and a mysterious glow faintly flickering behind his head. Has he taken the story seriously? And this is our shop. Like I said, you can you can upgrade the shop with plans. I don't have enough plans to upgrade it right now, but that's something we can do in the future. So you get more you get better items. You can get more items from them and shit like that, which is pretty handy to have. So you can add money into this investment system, which upgrades them too. That's something that like all the game modes, all the different story versions of this have. With this, we can make defenders cheaper, as an example. This one, we can immediately promote a specialist, which doesn't matter because our only specialist is already stage 3, and this is Vanguard Operator. So we want Texas instead of Scavenger, so we can swap them out. So Texas is another character who can generate deployment points, but she's also like overpowered as shit. And we'll buy this one too, because having cheaper defenders is a good thing. We don't have any right now, but we will, and we'll dump the rest in our little investment system here. And I think when it hits 200, this one gets unlocked for the future game, which is pretty cool. So, obviously, certain things have permanent effects on the game mode. The more you play through it, the more you finish it, the more things change. And this is one of those ones that affects things. So this is the Coronation. So this will change what boss you fight at the end. So if you gain these 2 Lingerers, It changes the end boss, or you can take a random collectible. We'll just take the random collectible because the other boss is impossible. I don't have the right characters for it. And then we will do another battle. And then we'll throw our new characters into the fray here. So we'll go Texas as well.
Che ti serve?
More Italians. I'm doing a lot of talking this time around. A lot of yapping. So my mouth is very dry. So, some of these maps have this little crystal on here. So if you deploy somebody in that, it kills them. And it also, if it's in the range of a ranged operator, so you have three of them right now technically, Tin Man, Wizardel, and Lapland, they're going to focus on it until it's destroyed. Which is not a bad thing inherently, but enemies will just straight up walk past them sometimes, which is annoying. But you get bonus plans, I think, at the end of the game for killing it. So let's get Wizardel to shoot at it for now. And then we'll get our guy here just outside of the range. We'll do the same with Lapland up top as well too.
Don't treat history with such a flippant attitude.
And then there's an enemy that spawns at the bottom here that does like if you kill it, it does like a poison. These guys will like leave a poison cloud, which is annoying. And this thing will like lob poison. So we want our little healer character to be doing his healing, since we don't have a designated fucking healer. And he does damage at the bottom, which is really well too. And then this ability here, you get deployment points, and it also does like an AoE attack. And then Lapland has this like insane damage upgrade, but it deploys automatically. So that green bar at the bottom is your their special ability build up and stuff like that. And some characters have like a manual one you have to activate. So, or in the case of like these two up here, it's automatic right now. So bar fills up, and Wizardel right now does splash damage, and like I said, Lapland has that huge attack boost. There we go, easy. Now I've been fucked over by that map plenty of times, but we have a decent squad composition.
I had a
right
taste of it back in Trimounts, but your strategic planning and judgment here were truly
And then we get a
impressive.
healer.
Would you mind if
We'll
I
take Hibiscus because she heals and does damage, and we like that. And we can't afford greed, so we're gonna keep moving. And then there's this little scout node here, and what you can do with scout nodes is you can either get 2 hope, or you can choose an operator to do a transportation job. So what we're gonna do for now is we're gonna sacrifice Wizardel for that, and when she comes back, she's gonna be fully upgraded. So once I finish the floor, now right now floor 2 there's no boss battle, so we just have to grind through this one. It should be fine because we have a decent, like I said, we have a decent squad composition so far, and we're still kind of in like the easy level, which is good.
Andiamo.
Yeah, this one's somewhat easy. So it's just this guy here you have to watch out for. 2 of them spawn in.
Cominciamo.
They're sort of the annoying enemy of the map. Because their first attack, which they do, is binds you, and that's enough to kind of do like permanent damage and kill everybody. And then, like I said, she does damage, and anyone within sort of her like attack range that's a friendly ally gets healed. That's good to have. And then I don't think we need to do much for now until this guy starts to move again. Casters are going to target her, but she also heals herself. And her ability slows enemies in her attack range, and it also buffs damage up on it. So this will probably kill her, which is fine.
Even an old haunt has its perils. Patience might feel how your soul's
So they can only do that once, but 2 of them get deployed. So there's a second one there. And we can activate this, which will blow up shit, but then they can just... They don't walk all the way down, which is what you want to happen. So. And like normally a strategy for this would be like you can bait that you'd be able to bait his like attack easily if you had a fast redeploy character, for example. But we don't. So we make do. And if I deploy someone here, that's still going to be in his range, which is annoying. But my plan is, if I have one, is we're going to... Fuck, that's not what I want to have. Alright, well, it is what it is.
Watch out for voice. It's the best vessel for curses.
Here. We're still going to get through this. It's not a problem. Non-issue. We have shields anyway, and shields still count as like there's two ways to sort of like lose life. You can lose shields, or you can lose life points.
I had a taste of it.
And if you lose shields, as long as you don't lose life points, you still get the perfect bonus.
Would you mind if I reported to the Foundation?
We're taking all this shit.
Glad to know there's an outstanding commander behind.
We will take another sniper. We'll take a fully upgraded blue poison. She's good. And then this is where we can trade in all of these thoughts you've been gathering. So you can like merge these two, for example. That's a guaranteed collectible. So we could either get 100 defense and resistance boost, or we can get a 5 attack speed for each of these ingots. 5 of these we have. Let's take the 100 seconds. And then let's do this one too. Enemies do their range attack damage, because we're going to be playing a lot with that. And you can mix these together, but like plans are worth hanging on to, and these you can use like before battles, so it's good to kind of have those as well too. Let's do that. Confirm. And then now that we move to the new floor, our Wizardle comes back, and our Wizardle comes back fully upgraded. So when you go to the squad list here, we can add her back in, and she's got her 3rd ability, and then everything dies. Alright, so we got a squad of everyone who's fully promoted, which is good to have. That's pretty OP. And then let's take a peek ahead of what we got ahead of us. So this will be the first boss. It's usually the mid-stage boss. If you got the units for it, it's pretty straightforward. Yard market where the mercenaries operate. Cutthroats are at your disposal as long as you can afford them. So we can get a cheap operator, or we can use those plans we had and get an elite operator. So let's do that. So it means we can pick anybody, regardless of class. I don't have a lot of... We need a defender. That's one thing we probably should have for a boss fight. Now, I don't have any fully upgraded 5-star defender. Well, I have one, but she's not going to be good for this game mode. Let's do... We got the hope we're going to afford a 6 stars. So let's get... Saria? So she's a medic operator, so she can heal herself and other characters around her. And she's a 6-star, so she's useful. So this is one of the special modes. This is a possibility. So you notice a rip open up in a corner of Kazdel, an immature and incomplete concept brought to life. You watch a scene unfolding inside a gap in the side 2. Now, we get teleported to another map if I still had those plans, but we just say, fuck it. Gap scene disappears, and what remains in your mind are only fragments of its existence. So we get a plan for that. In time, perhaps these ideas may prove useful. So we get another combat node, and like I said, we got fully upgraded Wizardle, so everything dies. Yeah, this is an easy one too. So you just deploy. Everything in range. Now we're gonna get attacked with these fucking artillery guys, which is fine. Which summons these crystals, which also are will distract enemies. She summons up to 3 of them when you use her ability, and then AOE damage everything. And there we go. And that's the game. And then we'll deploy healer here, so we can get with it all. And then we'll deploy Athlete here. And then that should, for the most part, cover everything. because we don't need. Yeah, that's the sort of the downside to having Wizardel as a character, is that it makes a lot of these levels trivial, and that applies to the story mode as well too, because they're not built around having the meta characters. Like if you're a real Arknights, Chad, and you have like a really good understanding of like what the enemies do and the different abilities of the characters and stuff like that, like you'll see on YouTube a lot of these guys who build what they call like low end squads. So they'll usually pick they'll pick like 4 stars and lower, and then if they really truly desperately have to, they'll have a 6-star thrown in there. And one of the nice things is that as long as you if you have friends on your friends list, it's easier, but you can borrow people's 6-star characters. So if there's like a map like that, if there's like you're like, oh, I'm having trouble on this map, I didn't roll Wizardel, so I would love to I'd love to be able to nuke the map, and it's just like, have no fear. You can. You just have to use somebody else's. So I'm pretty sure she's like, her and Reed are the 2 like my loner characters that people can book, which is cool. So it's good to, it's a neat option to have.
I had a taste of it back in Trimouts, but your strategic planning and judgment here were truly impressive. Would you mind if I
we'll upgrade scavengers. We don't need another Vanguard. I think we're good with the 2. So this is a emergency ops mode. So this is the one already finished. So this one difference is, so this is like a regular map, but there'll be like more obstacles, or the enemies, there'll be more upgraded enemies or something like that. So it's higher risk but higher reward as well. And it doesn't matter because we have Wizardel. Yes, these are on the regular map as well too. It's their placement that fucks things up. If you get hit with this a certain amount of times, it does like freezing damage to you, or you get frozen, and then you stop moving for a little bit. So it's a status effect, but doesn't matter. Nothing matters. So the tankiest enemy's already been nuked, and then now it's just a matter of fighting out the stragglers. There is like an elite enemy up here, which is Mr. Bellingham, I think his name is, who is a sussy Englishman. And then another one of these guys will come in, but he will have a snowball, so he'll be like chucking that at you, which is really annoying. And that does a bunch of ice damage as well too. Yeah, see, he's gonna fucking lob that. But we can probably put something up here to distract him. I don't know how he's gonna do it. Those guys explode, which is bad. If you couldn't tell already. Our healer here. Yeah, let's roll a fucking.
Watch out for a voice. It's the best vessel for curses.
Our little elite enemies here now too. So one of his attacks is he can dash through his way, so he doesn't just fucking kill him in one hit. Kill him first.
Patience.
I think it's gonna summon another one of those special enemies that we can kill. Yeah, it is. So this guy's kind of annoying because he's invisible, as you can tell by his little cloud. So enemies aren't, unless you have someone who can expose invisible, or unless he like is a process of attacking somebody. He's invisible, and no one's going to target him. But what's going to be really annoying as well too is that we can block him with Lapland and Texas, but he stuns him with one hit. But we boxed him in, and he's dead because we can one hit him with fucking Wisdom. Yeah. Which trivializes everything.
I heard some rumors about the Kazdel Civil War.
Take all our shit. So this one's good because it upgrades our deployment limit, because you can see we have 8 operators, so we can only put 7 out. But this will add to that. This will add to how many operators we can have overall. So those are 2 worthwhile items to actually pick up. More plans. And then we can pick a supporter. And then we don't have enough, so we're going to take Provisio, fully upgraded. And is quite useful because she can slow people down. And we have another one of these get collectibles, which we're not going to get. We're going to get Hope. Hope is good. We want to farm Hope. So do that. We'll leave. And then the boss for this one is these two here. So it's Calcid, who's a player character, and this is like a monster who is summonable for her. So how the fight works, before we'll quickly show you here on the map, is they both spawn on each end, and you have to kill both of them, obviously. But you have these crystals sort of blocking the top row, so that's going to be distracting you. And if you do a whole bunch of damage to one, they'll swap places. So what the goal is you got enemies walking around down here that buff up attacks. So you want to put somebody here to kind of like circumvent that. And then you want to have someone that's quickly going to destroy this crystal. So I'll show you what my strategy is going to be for it, because it's pretty straightforward. So we're going to put Provisio in. And we're going to get rid of you and put our... And the goal will be to sort of block this middle row.
I'll be finding a backup.
So we'll throw down Texas first, because Texas is going to give us deployment points, and she can deal with like the minor enemies pretty easy, which is nice. Use this ability, and then we're going to throw Provisio here. And these are weaker to arts damage. So like she'll do more damage to this than Wizardel will. And we'll throw our boy down here. So this enemy, as long as he's on the field, these guys have higher defense, do more damage. So it's a bad thing. And eventually they'll kind of like come to the top row and you can kill them there. And then these guys here are spawning in fucking... We gotta get rid of it. We need to get rid of at least the middle one. And then that way we can throw down Wizardel, and then Wizardel can just fucking carry both of those lanes. So when the boss comes, she can hit both of them. And it trivializes... Again, it trivializes the whole fucking thing. Yeah. They're spawning in now.
Patience, feel how your soul's imprisoned. It'll be a lesson. Feel how your soul's imprisoned. It'll be a lesson you won't forget.
So they'll hover there for a while, and they'll both start advancing at the same time. And then we got a couple healers and stuff like that. So they're going to come into range above this tile here. So she's shooting them already, so let's just start fucking nuking them. And then they're gonna swap. We kill them before that happens. And then voila. And that's how easy it fucking is. And now, can it be done without Wizardel? Absolutely. Again, it's one of those things where you want to have that crystal destroyed first, and that way you can have someone who's able to attack both characters. So having like a caster, a decent caster, a decent ranged operator helps.
Patience. Don't imagine the future with such a narrow view.
And then we're done. We got 100% on the boss fight, or the mid boss. Anyway, and then like I said, the end boss is determined by sort of actions you take during this. So there's only 2 bosses in the current expansion right now. What was the operator thing? Guard or Vanguard? Okay, so we can take a guard character again. We don't need more Vanguards. And do I have any good 5 stars? I don't think Indra. This will be our... This is my beloved Indra. My Hockney fucking tiger. And then we don't use summons, so we'll take the squad side attack and the defense boost. Boom. So I think we're gonna have to push this again. And by push this, I mean we'll be doing this next Saturday. So, because it's already, we're like 2 hours in, and we're like finishing up Arc Night. So Friday, we'll just quickly touch this now. Friday's gonna be more of Unholy, and then Saturday we will do Girls Frontline and Azure Lane will show off there too. And I think by Friday, both of those, or Saturday, sorry, both of those will have new events, I'm pretty sure too. So we'll have fresh-ish content to share, which is kind of key now. This one's pretty easy with what we got. And now we can put everybody in, because we have so many fucking deployment slots.
Where's the battlefield?
This is one of those things, like, managing your slots is paramount to this mode as well, too, because you'll get, like, if you just hang on to the 7, you'll, the way the boss works is, his attack, he has an attack that will, like, lock characters on the ground, like, to kill them, and there'll be, like, a coffin. You have to destroy the coffin in order to actually fucking redeploy that character. So having somebody that can, like, you can just quickly deploy out of his range and destroy the coffin is sort of paramount. But if you only have 7 people, you're fucked. Oh, and you can move your characters around the map too, which is fucking real nice. So it's like the second phase of the fight is it's like he's an easy boss, but like the way the phases work are it's important to you gotta manage that sort of shit in order to actually beat the boss properly. We'll throw you down here, and we'll throw you guys here, and we'll throw our healer there. And then yeah, enemies can only cross this little bridge area here. So like a strategy for this map you could do is you could have like a puller at the top, and you can just like as the heavier enemies come, you just pull them into the hole and kill them instantly. But we're not using pullers. There's not enough maps that I've seen. I could be wrong though, but it doesn't look like there's enough maps in the game that are like really justify using like shift characters. This one and another one for sure. And then you have enemies spawning from you have like flying enemies spawning from the bottom, and then we just have Lapland, and then we can throw fucking Buddy here just for shits and gigs.
Watch out for voice.
Make sure she's alive.
For curses.
You can heal her. And then that's covered. But if, like, say she died and I didn't have something to replace her, they would fly around the map, and then the ranged operators up here would be able to kill them too. So, or if you're lucky, you already have Wizardel using her special attack, because her regular attack doesn't hit airborne enemies, which is sort of a bit of a crutch, but it's not enough that like she's not overpowered. That special attack, the one that does the huge AoE damage, will hit airborne enemies, so yeah. She's a tank. Get more shit. And then we get... You know what, let's recruit another specialist. So I said a lot of these, like these two here, Waifu and Project Red, are the fast redeploy ones. So this would come in handy for that boss fight I mentioned, because you can quickly throw her down, destroy that coffin if the character does get locked, and then you're good. This is an easy one to do that. Easy for me anyway. And then we'll throw Red in there. So she's not fully upgraded as a character, but what I need her for, obviously, it's we're good, 100%. Whew. Alright. We're making progress here. So this one, you gotta sort of manage 2 lanes. So these guys here, they start off asleep, and then when you damage them, or you wait till the end of the map, after like basically the rest of the enemies get cleared out, they have a ranged attack that like hits everybody in a certain area, so kind of like you want to kill them quickly. And then you have enemies that spawn in, they go for either or of these points here, so you got to kind of like manage both entrances. So these heavy units here will try to wrap around and go down here, and then these guys and like these caster enemies and some more smaller ones will attack from the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw Wizardel here. That way she's got both points covered. And then hopefully she doesn't die when those fucking guys spawn in. So let's not wake him up yet.
An old home has its perils.
Get everyone healed up.
Souls in prison. It'll be a lesson you won't forget.
And then what I'll probably end up doing is I will throw like Lapland and Defender down here. And these fucking things that spawned in too are unblockable, so you gotta like destroy them quickly. But, again, non-issue. I got a caster and I got, okay, so one's awake. He's gonna fuck my shit up. See, this is a we're cooked situation right here. So we'll throw Defender here because he's gonna kill Indra real quick. And then that way we can get him in the range. So my plan is sort of shot, but that's okay. We let one go through. We got distracted by the wrong thing. So we'll kill him here, he'll get caught up there. And then these guys will get fucking wizarded. But like I said, we have a lot of shield, so it doesn't count towards our progress and getting bonus shit. And we're pretty much on the second to last floor anyway, so we're good there. So we're good. We're making progress. So yeah, it's like very, like, compared to other games, I would say Arknights is very much one of those things where you do kind of got to know what you're doing. And that applies to really all game modes. Just boost this up a little bit. Because, like, obviously there are certain characters that will work best in different situations and stuff like that, right? So, and then knowing, like, having, like, fully upgraded 5 stars is a huge thing because you can use this fucking perk and do that. And then we can upgrade this thing. I don't know if I have. Oh, I have. Okay. We have a maxed out safe house, which is cool. And you can go in here and you can get like different perks from it. So we can boost our toll limit, get plans, boost our squad size. I'm pretty happy with the squad size and the toil limit, so let's just get these plans. And then Lost and Found is another one. This is where you can trade in collectibles, and you can upgrade them. When you get like higher challenge modes, sometimes you'll get negative collectibles. So this one's like fairly useless. So if we trade it in, we might get something better. So we get starting deployment points 300, which is huge. And the reason for that means we can dump Wizard early. And get this one, we get deployment limit up again, more hope. Plans at less toil. I like deployment limit. And then we can probably upgrade this too, we can. So it means we can get, it triggers a different special ability when we trade in these fucking things. Hopefully we can get more collectibles. Probably not, hold on. Yeah, we want that. Oh, we did get one, nice. So all Sarkaz enemies, which are most of them, now have slower movement speed, which is good. I'm happy with what I got here, so we're good there. So this is the last of the floors, floor 5. So you go all the way down, and then you have your dreadful foe. I already know who the boss is because we sort of preset it. So there's a couple options for this one. So Cyclops tears open a rift and appears before you. Greetings. Her manner is polite, but her tone carries an edge. You have it, don't you? The key that can change the future. Though she doesn't look directly at you, her gaze feels piercing. Please hand it over so I can alter the bleak future I foresee. Do not refuse me. So we can refuse. This will trigger a battle. I'm pretty sure this one's a pain in the ass. We can lose our little doodle of hope. But we get 8 max life points, and then we can run. So let's get rid of the doodle. We don't really need the life points, but fuck it. We now have 20 fucking... So we can go to the safe house again, or we can do the trader. Hold on. Let me look at the rest of the rows. Do the trader. See if we can buy anything cool. Because we got a lot of ingots. So we can do... let's recruit a caster, because we don't have one yet. We'll get Gara. who's kind of one of my main go-tos. We'll buy that because I never used it before. All added units give 10 plus MP, additional 80%. Yeah, fuck it. Alright, what was this? Squad size limit again. Ah, we're good. I'm happy with what we got going. This is a pain in the ass fight. But we'll swap you out with Kira. And
won't you want me leading, Doctor?
we'll put Reed in as well too for this. Even though it's not her bet. I need that third skill. But she's still pretty useful. More useful than Hibiscus is. And the reason this map's a pain in the ass, so these tanks spawn on each side of the map. And they have like a huge AoE attack that they can do. So I can deploy her here, but that fucking crystal's in range, which is annoying. But what we can do is we can deploy, like, bait the special attacks. So you gotta manage those, while you also gotta manage, like, waves of enemies coming from the left and the right. Which are a bit annoying. And eventually a second tank will spawn, and then the tanks move in. Which is fucking stupid. Is it manageable? Yes, but if you're like, you go into it, like, you'll get fucked pretty quick if you're not careful. Right? So you fucking nuked Indra there.
Where do you wish to find Dublin?
And then these guys can tear through fucking people too, which is really annoying. We'll throw you here. Because we can just carry this section with ranged enemies, which is nice. But eventually all of these enemies are going to move in and we want to fuck those up, right? So. Oh, fuck. Oh, I'll put a defender here. Yeah, so we already lost one. But again, we got a lot of shield. We got a lot of shield, so we're good. We're getting fucking barraged. Holy shit. Kill these guys with the fucking splash. And like I said, this section is a non-issue as long as you cover it up.
Watch out for a voice. It's the best vessel for curses. Found your arc.
Clearing through a fucking squad over there.
Dear me, I'm not done readying yet.
It's a non-issue, but it's fucking annoying. Yeah, we'll take the L on this one. I think we have enough shield to cover it, but we're okay.
Your lives are mine to protect.
Even an old haunt has its perils.
No need for mercy on the enemies, correct?
Get at least 2 of the tanks. Hopefully 3.
Where do you wish to go?
Let's throw a lap on down there just to fucking do arch damage on this tank. Alright, we got it. Alright. So we took a lot, but we're good. We're good. We'll be fine for the boss. I think.
Did they flee?
Yeah.
I have no hate for those who do. But here, on the battlefield, I will pursue them.
Alright, let's upgrade Reed. Alright. Now we're good for the boss fight. We just gotta go through one more battle. Bring in another healer just in case. I didn't fucking switch Reed skill. But it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. We just gotta get to the boss. And hopefully win.
Mind your own sodding business.
This one's kind of easy. So these, what are these called again? These Chimera, these characters, you don't take care of them really quick. They get this like AoE damage effect, which is really annoying. So these guys in the top corner here are able to like attack you across the map. So anyone who touches the AoE stuff gets fucking killed. You want to kill them as fast as you can. And if you can do damage on those guys and get them wiped out as fast as you can too, it's good to do. And now, these guys are, all three of these and the ones that spawn in are going to be well within the range of Wizardel, so again, not an issue. But these two here eventually spawn. So this guy's spawning a stupid little AoE ability there. But no one's going to be within it, so we're okay. Just we want to kill this guy as fast as possible. Okay, and they're wiped out at the top anyway too, so we're good.
No need for mercy on the enemy, correct?
And what's like it? And then we'll change you. Stop you here.
諸君に対する判決は間もなく下されます。
Wizardell's good to go again. And we just automize everything on the map.
たまには上を見てみた方がいいわよ。
Takes out half the strategy, which is nice.
原稿を用意したこと、被告が提供した証拠の証拠能力には意味があります。
And nothing else will spawn on this side, so we don't need Lapland anymore. And it's just all like shitters at the top that are all within Wizardell's attack range, so we're good there. So you here is the case. Speed up the process possible.
I can see them just fine. 被告が提供した証拠の証拠能力には意味があります。 Let's assist up. I'm aimed at you, you know.
Voila. Okay. So.
I had a taste of it back in Trimounts, but your strategic planning and judgment here
total limit plus
were
2,
truly
chance to get one
impressive.
plan after combat.
Would you mind if
Sort of
I
unnecessary
reported
where
to the
we are.
Foundation? They would be
And
glad
then last
to
thing we'll
know,
do is
as an
upgrade our defender.
outstanding commander. Behold.
So everyone we're going to be using is fully upgraded. We can swap items here again, but we're just going to skip this. And then last thing we can do is see if we can farm any more collectibles or stuff like that. Hope sort of unnecessary for this here. Lead, because we're going to keep those. And then Prophecy, this is sort of where you would need to have that item from the beginning that I said changes the boss. So if we had it, we could change who the boss is. We don't. So our boss is going to be this guy here, Fremont, the engineer of mind. And then I'll show you how this sort of works here. So we go in, make sure we got everybody we need with skill 3. You don't believe Saria at skill 2. That's it. The other one doesn't do much. So this should all be okay for what we're going to try to do here. And like I said, second phase is a little bit of luck, which is annoying, but we'll make it work. So he spawns right in the middle here, and we'll use Wizardell to sort of just like nuke all the fucking all the mobs. And then he will summon these orbs. He's got 2 of them right now. He summons 3. So when a character's in range, he'll shoot those orbs at him. And if it's enough to kill them, in most cases it is, they turn into that coffin. He has higher defense when he has those orbs. So the idea is you want to bait the orbs and then block him so he's just focused on attacking an enemy in front of him. and then that way, everything's sort of just taken care of on its own. And you want to, if you like de-deploy an enemy or an ally, they turn into a coffin as well too. So you want to basically throw out as many characters as you need in the first phase, but you don't want to throw out too many. That's the problem, because they're going to get moved across the map somewhere. And if we're lucky, so they'll be in a random spot where they can land. So obviously certain characters are going to be on the ground, certain going to be up in the air, or up on the range platforms. What we hope is that Wizardel gets redeployed on a tile that's not facing in a direction that's like away. Because we're going to have to de-deploy her, and then we're going to have to fucking destroy that coffin, which is annoying, right? So
I'm prepared. Fear not the firelight.
So the goal now is that when he gets to about here, we want to bait him with red so that she can destroy the coffin right away, and then we can block him with another character, and then he focuses on that character, and then everyone just fucking opens fire on him and do as much like DPS as we can to him. And then when he doesn't have these orbs, he takes a lot of damage. So what we'll do is we'll put you here. She dies, and then we destroy the coffin, and then everyone opens fire on him. Fucking what's her face died too, so we'll throw Lapland here. And then hopefully, because she's surrounded by healers, she doesn't take too much damage. And then we can just fucking nuke them. Okay. And we're gonna de-deploy him, and we're gonna de-deploy. You know what? We'll de-deploy their friendly quickly too. If we get the coffin destroyed in time, which we did, only 2 characters get moved, and then we're good. Okay, so that's good. That's really good, actually. I don't like the way they're facing, though. That doesn't bode well.
No need for mercy on the enemy, correct?
We'll let these guys leak. Fuck it. Enemies can leak. He can't leak, though, because that's like an instant loss. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna do this. Get rid of you. And then redo. Get rid of that.
Where do you wish to alive?
And she died. Fuck me. Okay, that's not good. Pray to God this works.
Watch out for reports.
Alright, we're getting in trouble here.
Vessel for curses. Don't treat history with such a flippant attitude.
Alright. We're good there. So we can redeploy. Once your redeployment's good, we can throw fucking Wizardel back, and then we can beat the boss. And boom, boom, ding. So he's gonna spawn again up here. He went down the stairs, and he makes his way back across the map. And then you just get annoyed as fuck. And then shit. We're in.
It's my turn.
Well, guys, we're gonna beat this, don't worry. We're good. We're good. Now we can automize everybody. We have a lot of redeployment points. Oh fuck. Okay, hold on. No defender here. I think I got overconfident.
It's my turn.
Yeah, he's about to leak. Fuck me. Okay, I can't block him. Yeah, he's already over the line. Yeah, fuck. Okay. We got close, though. We got to the second phase, at least. Oh, okay. Well, we still get a shit ton of, I think this is my cap for the month. Oh, we got a little medal for it as well. So you get a shit ton of the points for it. Normally it'd be about 900, but like I said, I think I've reached the max capacity. Yeah, so every month they add more content to it. So as you can see, I'm already at 65. So I think it gets bumped up to 90 in April. So it is like a monthly upgrade thing. Yeah, next month we're going to get like a furniture pack you can add to your base and shit, which is pretty cool. And then the only thing really worth farming, which I'm not going to do too much, is this historical reconstructions. So you get these for playing through effectively as well too. And this you can sort of like upgrade your start. So you get higher toil at the start, or more ingots, or this one here, for example, at the end of the fight, you can get more of that soul bookmarks, which you need, which are contribute towards your awards and stuff like that. So that's Arknights. We've done well.
Ah, Doctor.
That should bring us well over what we need for the daily. Yep.
Some things never
So we're good there. Dailies are complete. And we spent a lot of time with it compared to... We do a lot of time with Nikkei too, what am I saying? But... a lot more yapping than I normally do. But that's... I enjoy these games a lot. I like Nikkei. I like Arknights. Them, and even... fucking... Girls Frontline 2 are very story intensive, which is kind of awesome. So if you like something that's a little bit more in your average Gooner game, Azure Lane's a bit more Goonery, but there is a story there, and it is a little bit more esoteric than it needs to be. But I enjoy it. That's one of those games you don't really play for the story, but these ones you do. And they're a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Like, I'm a big fan of the series. I like the characters and stuff like that. Arknights is one of those ones that, like, once I got it at the right time because I was growing very tired of the game, and then it was like, finally I had some meta characters. Finally I had some, like, I got a better grasp of understanding how the game works, and then then it clicked, and then I was locked in, and then that's one of those ones that, like, maybe Nikkei I will, just because of the way the time fucking reset works, but, like, I'm not skipping those. Like, I do my dailies. I enjoy my dailies. Usually they're a bit less of a time commitment than this, but like I said, you can do Nikkei in 7 minutes if you really wanted to. If you're just doing dailies, Arknights is like 10 minutes, which is nice. And then the other two that we're going to be playing tomorrow, a little bit more time, or not tomorrow, next Saturday, a little bit more time, but, like, realistically, like, it's only an hour of your day that you're putting into these games. It's nothing too crazy. And then if you want to participate in the events, if you want to actually play through the story, or you want to do different game modes, that option's always available to you. And those options are fun. So it's pretty cool. So that's that. Like I said, we definitely focused more on these two games than I expected we were going to. But we had to do the boss fight, bro. We had to get there. And we had to play the mini game for Nikkei. So those are done for today. I got to finish the other two now, but I'm going to do that off screen. And then, like I said, I think next week, new events. There's going to be a new event, or at least a rerun event for Azure Lane. So we'll have some new content for that, or like interesting content anyway. But we can still rip through the dailies pretty quickly on that one. And I'll dig into a little bit of the game, how it works and shit like that too. Same as this time around. And yeah, fucking, like I said, Unholy Friday. More Gooner Casino on Saturday. So, have a good night, and I will see you guys next week for more bullshit. Yeah, not tomorrow. Sorry, I misread. I don't remember what day it is anymore because I worked today, so I always think Saturday is Friday, but it happens. So, sorry for the confusion. Not tomorrow. Next week. Maybe I'll start doing Sundays. Maybe I'll start doing Thursdays. I haven't decided which one I want to do yet. But there is stuff coming up in this month where it's going to be taking up time on Fridays and Saturdays. So I might have like a chill stream. Maybe we'll do some more Arknights, like the stuff like that, like on March or something, like end of March or something like that on a Sunday, or just a little afternoon stream or something like that. I don't know. But I will announce it beforehand anyway on the Instagram page when I decide to kind of change, shake up the schedule a little bit. But other than that, have a good night, and I will see you guys next week.